Do you want to know how to set up beautiful, free stepping stones in your garden? I love having stepping stones in my garden because it just makes it so much easier to be able to see where the walking paths are in your garden and to not step on your new plants that you've just planted. Especially if you have kids in your garden. The stepping stones is fun for kids to be able to jump from one to the other, but also to keep them on that clear path so they're not stepping on the small plants that you just planted. I also like that the stepping stones are a visual guide for when the garden is bursting at the seams with growth. You still have those visual lines where your rows are, so where you can walk between. You can certainly go out and you can buy stepping stones, but I find them to be costly, and I prefer to get things for free when possible, even if it's a do-it-yourself kind of project. So I went to a local store that sells granite and marble, and they had a lot of extra pieces that were broken or too small of sizes or had marks on them. And I filled up my trunk with a bunch of pieces of granite, and some were already small enough to be stepping stones. Others were larger pieces that we had to break up into smaller pieces, but it was actually a really easy process. If you have a sledgehammer and you just give it a couple taps in the center of the piece, it'll help to break that, and it easily pulls apart. And personally, I think they look awesome in the garden, and I love how warm they are on my toes when I step on them. They're so smooth and warm from the sun, and they look beautiful. They define my rows, which I really like, and they were free, so you can't beat free. I have each stepping stone spaced about 1.5 to 2 feet apart from each other. You could do closer spacing, and that would also help with keeping weeds down underneath the stepping stones as well. It's a few less areas to weed, which is also beneficial. While there are many benefits to granite as stepping stones, a couple things to note is that they can be a bit slippery when they're wet, so keep that in mind. And when you're breaking them apart, sometimes you can have some sharp edges, so just be aware of that. You can bury them down to be level with the soil to help cover up some of those edges if you choose to, but I find for the most part the ones that I have here in my garden, the edges aren't all that sharp. Just be aware of it. I was able to find this granite through a Craigslist ad where a small local company was looking to give away these small pieces. They had a couple pallets full. I was very fortunate to be able to pick that up, and I wanted to pass along that tip to you, so hopefully you can enhance your garden with some stepping stones for free. You don't have to pay the high costs of purchasing your own stepping stones. If you liked this video, we have more videos about gardening, chickens, goats, farming in general. Here at Just One More Story Farm, we have a saying, what are you waiting for? Get your farm on. Because honestly, we feel like farming is such a joy, and it's something that we want to share with everybody, and we think everybody should try their hand at farming. Growing your own food, raising your own animals, getting fresh eggs. It's just wonderful to be able to do that and provide for your family. We're here to help you with that with our videos, and we're happy to answer any questions in the comment section. If you'd like to learn about raising chickens, we've got a great playlist about chicken care. You should definitely check that out.
1, 2, 3, 4. Do you want to farm? A wicked awesome farm. Watch this channel to learn what to do. We love to farm and we'll